Hello, people out there. This is Michael Poulsen of Volbeat. You're watching BraveWords.
Falling from the sky to cast them from the heavens light.
And the crowd is reacting. Metalton from BraveWords.com. Michael Poulsen from... You guys are just like your stars. Like, it's insane. It really is for like such a short little trip.
Short little trip, you know.
Well, 10 years, 10 plus years.
Yeah, but I had a band before that, so I started playing music, early 90s, death metal, So I released 4 albums with a death metal band called Dominus back in the days. So I listened to a lot of death metal and still do, Start listening to death metal in the 80s where it exploded, tape trading and everything. So yeah, I've been there, but I still like to listen to the death metal records, and now and then I can still find some inspiration there.
Well, rest in peace, Chuck, and we need to flag this thing.
Yeah.
So how much of an influence is that whole era on Volbeat? Because you're not a death metal band.
I don't even know if we're metal, I guess we're just a rock band with metal influences, But yeah, Chuck was definitely, if you ask me and a lot of metalheads, the creator of metal, I know he was a huge Possessed fan, but I don't think that people see Possessed as a death metal band, it has that thrashy elements too, but Chuck was the biggest one, and definitely my favorite death metal band of all time. So of course in the first band I had, Dominus, there was a lot of death inspiration, and there's still inspiration coming from that in Volbeat. It's just underneath the layers, so it still means a lot.
Well, there's two key elements in your home country that are part of the metal scene. Obviously, we're talking about the whole King Diamond thing,
yeah.
and Lars.
Oh yeah, Lars became the biggest rock star from Denmark, still is, and very proud of him, and we had the honor to tour with him and Metallica. It's great, and since I was in school, I've also been listening to a lot of King Diamond records and Merciful Fate, and became really good friends with King. And as you probably know, we have him on the Outlaw Gentleman and Shady Lady album on a track called Room 24. So that was a huge honor, having the Mighty King doing his work with Volbeat. Very proud of that.
Well, how does it feel growing up as a fan? And he's like, Elvis was the king of the pop, but there's another bigger king in my world, and then he appears on your record?
It is huge, because I remember when I discovered King Diamond, and I was still in school and living with my parents, had the posters up on the wall, and to think that many years after, I'll be recording with him, that's something I could not. If you told me that, I wouldn't believe it, but time runs, and I stayed very active in the scene, and now we're here, and we've been doing a lot of work with a lot of different metal bands and singers, and also Mille from Creator has been working with Michael Denner, Merciful Fate, Hank Sherman, just to take a few of the metal performers.
But you've done something like remarkable in your short little time span, like to have a top 5 record in the States. I know I'm from Canada, but everyone looks at the Billboard charts.
Okay.
Like, that's crazy.
It is crazy, and coming from a very small country like Denmark, it is special. We're probably the first band coming out of Denmark, doing so well in the States and in Canada, and it's we're very proud of it, and we're gonna do our best to continue keeping the flag high for rock and roll music and metal.
How do you think you connect then? Obviously, there's some connection if you're going to sell that many records to the North American audience.
What do you mean?
In terms of, you sold a ton of records, like so. You've got a huge fan base here. So how do you think you connect with them musically?
You know what? that's a question you have to give to the audience, because we don't think too much about it. You know, we play straight from the heart, and you know, that's a lot of influences. You know, from rock and roll music. You know, rockabilly, country, punk, gospel, blues, metal, punk. You know, and we don't think too much about it. You know, we don't care about styles and image. You know, we have Volbeat, and we blend all these styles together, and at the end of the day, it seems like there's a lot of people who can relate to it. You know, some people don't get it, but as Lemmy said, you can't win them all wherever you put them. So it's okay.
So, what are your feelings about being back in Canada? Any great memories? Are you happy to be here?
I'm very happy to be here. You know, the first time we played in Canada was with the mighty Metallica. You know, it couldn't be better than that. So, you know, coming back after those shows, it's been amazing. And, you know, we have good fans here in Canada, and we've been looking forward to come back and play. So it's definitely something we've been looking forward to. And it seems like there's still some good believers here in Canada when it comes to Volbeat, and I truly appreciate that.
My last burning question is, are we going to see Lars on a record in your future?
I don't know. Ask him. You can ask him.
I'll ask him. Lars, you need to be on the next Volbeat record. Anyways, cheers, man, from Heavy Montreal.